What is up, fight fans? So this is a video that I actually did not want to have to make because everyone was talking about it and I was just like, I don't care, because I know that most of these people don't even know what to look at or look for when they're looking at a boxing video game, especially one that's trying to be simulation. But then Martial Mind made his video, and I'm gonna have to respectfully let him know that, Marshall, you're gonna have to sit down on this one. This is Edward, and you're watching Boxing Fanatico. Now, it's all love in terms of Martial Mind. He's a cool dude, and other people who've talked about the game, they're cool guys. It has nothing to do with critiquing them. They have awesome content, and I 100% would recommend you go there if you're looking for content, especially when it comes to UFC or MMA type content. But boxing, that's my realm. Just so you get some context, I've boxed before. I boxed from the age of 16 to about the age of 19 at world-class boxing gym, where I did sparring, training, you name it. And I still train to this day in terms of hitting the boxing mitts, hitting the punching bag, things of that nature. I still do that to this day. Even jump rope, I still do all of that stuff till this day. But also there's an added element that I also do film study on fights. I've done film studies on fights for Sugar Ray Robinson. I've done film studies on Jack Johnson fights. I've done film studies on so many different fights in the past. Not just the modern fights that you see now, but across the board. I've done film study, which means that I can look at something and see quicker than most people if what I'm seeing is a actual representation of the sport or not. Now, here's the issue. Here's the main issue. The main issue, and trust me, I'm going to come in with all the receipts so you guys know. I'm literally going to kind of parallel what Martial Mind did with his video, but I'm going to show you what I'm talking about with my video. The discrepancy comes from the fact that most people either remember or hyper sensationalize their memories of exciting fights, where they think that more is happening or more happened than it actually did visually, or they just really know what they feel from the fight night games or boxing movies, which both of those things over exaggerate every single movement so it looks brutal. I mean, if you're throwing an uppercut like this, you know, it's going to look like, oh my God, he did everything he threw so much into that uppercut. You know what I mean? So there's a hyperbolic type of memory when they think back on a fight, or when they think of Fight Night Champions, or when they watch a Rocky movie, for example, where every punch the person's like that. But that's not how boxing actually works. So let's talk about the things that Martial Mind said, and we're going to see what it actually truly is. So here we got, I'm going to go ahead and show the stuff that that was a problem. This right here, let's play it in regular speed. Keep in mind that they are tired. They're tired, and this is actually the only thing that stuck out to me when I first saw it, was the weirdness here. And the weirdness didn't come from the punches being thrown. The weirdness came from the movement of Joe Frazier, in my opinion, when I was watching it. But it looks like it's a combination of him being stuck in the corner, limiting his movement, as well as them being tired, right? So we'll play this in regular speed. Looks kind of weird, looks kind of wonky, right? Before we show this, I'm going to go ahead and compare it, right? Because I put everything together here just to show it. This is also people fighting while being tired in Fight Night Champions. Notice how they're skating around. They're basically skating, sliding. I feel like it's two Michael Jacksons fighting in there. But they're tired. and they're throwing these punches. I'm not even touching on the things that they're doing. Because that uppercut, for example, is a ridiculous uppercut. I feel like I need to insert the sound, Hayuke, Dayuke, or whatever that is. Because he's throwing uppercuts like this. And that's this, looking away, your hand literally this high, your other hand over here. That to people that's real boxing, man. That's real boxing. I feel he put so much in. He threw so much into it that he's like this. Yeah. I also feel like a fireball is just missing the fireball. All right, so let's go back over here and look at some of the stuff here and kind of analyze it, right? So one of the critiques, first thing I want to critique or talk about or whatever, or first thing I want to talk about in terms of what they were critiquing, especially what Marshall Mann was saying, was this flicker jab here, right? He's like, oh, this jab looks like it has no power. And everybody's saying, oh, this jab looks like it has no power. It's a flicker jab. Do you guys know what a flicker jab is? A flicker jab is when you just throw the jab. You just throw the jab. Throw the jab. That's it. That's a flicker jab. You just throw it. Your hand, everything is loose. You just throw it. That's it. And bring it right back. That's a flicker jab, right? To think that no one does a flicker jab is ridiculous. To think that everyone's jab is like this every single time is ridiculous. Because it's not. Some people do flicker jabs just to get you into a certain position and do different moves. But you're saying, wait, but he showed a picture of somebody doing a flicker jab and I saw him like this. Okay, cool. Let's look at this. Get this little flicker jab, right? This is Lomachenko throwing a flicker jab. Whoop, whoop. He's not doing this. He's not turning as much as he can. He's not leaning in because it's depending also on your distance. He's right up against him. Boom, boom. Not even, barely even. This, look at how he's standing. Look at how he's standing. That is super comparable to the way he throws it. Super comparable to the way he throws it. To the way he's throwing it. And how with the hand position. His other arm, if you were to reverse this, it will look like this. His chin is not being covered by his shoulder on the other side. And his hand is up. He just has his left hand just probably a little bit higher than Rocky Marciano. But let's see it in action, right? Here we got a guy who's notorious for flicker jabbing. And I have both the clips of when he flicker jabs and when he throws a stiff jab, and you'll see the difference. Here is a flicker jab, right? The first one is he throws it normally. The second one, he has to lean in because of the distance. Not because that's how you have to throw it, but because of the distance. This is when he throws a stiff jab. Completely different. Right here, flicker jab. Right here, flicker jab. Notice, it's not anything out of the ordinary, but notice the hand, it just flicks out, right? Flicks out. Same thing here. Notice, he just flicks it out. It's even bent right here. Right there, it's bent because he's flicking it. Flicker jab. We can hit, we can go ahead and hit play here. Flick. See that? Flicker jab, guys. Flicker jab. Then, let's go ahead and talk about the right hook, right? Oh, he's not rotating. How is this man not rotating on his right hook? We see his back to the screen, our vision is his back. After he finished throwing the right hook, we see basically his entire front torso. So that means he rotated at least 90 degrees on that punch. No, but he didn't rotate all the way. His head wasn't over here. As what Marshall Mann was saying. His head, everything, he gave his whole life and put it that way. You don't do that in every single right hook. That is a power right hook with a lot of risk, actually. If you throw a right hook like this, you're leaving yourself wide open. It's actually better to throw right hooks like this and keep your head looking at your opponent as opposed to having to go like this. So he's throwing a better right hook than just wild, right? But now, let's go ahead. No, Edward. That's impossible. That There's no way. There's no way, Edward. Well, guess what? I got actually the right hook. Here we go. I got the right hook right here. So we're going to see some right hooks, right? See this? He's leaned in a little bit because of the distance. But he didn't torque that much. Boom. He turned in to a 90-degree angle, just like Rocky Marciano. Let's see another one. He's dipping some stuff. Turns it to a 90-degree angle. Also does stance switching a little bit, just like Marciano. And his head is still forward. Still looking at his target, right? Let's keep going. What about the infamous Roy Jones when he does the side to side? Boom. Turn less than Rocky Marciano to throw that punch. Whoop. Whoop. Boom. I mean, he used a little bit of his power stepping up, but that's why I added this one right here. You see Canelo goes to the body and goes up. So you got his back right here, right? And he doesn't have enough. He doesn't have enough to push out. He just tags him, touches him, then boom. And that's it. He has to duck the punch, obviously, as the punch is coming. He has to duck the punch as the punch is coming. Boom. Sorry about that, guys. He has to duck the punch as the punch is coming. Boom. But he ducks it. That's what he did. He ducked it. That movement of his head going down is just a duck. But his head would have been straight. There would be no need for him to do anything else because he was straight the entire time. And here I have one where there is an actual torque. And you'll see the difference. Here he torques. That's the difference. Some people torque that way. Some people do not. All right. So we got this out of the way, right? We got all that stuff out of the way. He's hitting him here, doing that. Uppercut doesn't connect. By the way, for those who are saying, "Oh, I don't critique the game. I didn't critique the game." I critiqued the game even in this gameplay trailer. In the Alpha Movement trailer, I said the punches were slow and looked awkward, and it did. They fixed it here. It still looks a little bit slow in terms of the overall movement. Still looks a little bit slow, but the punches are dramatically improved because hands are up as opposed to hands being down when certain punches are being thrown. And also they added a blur effect, which is realistic to what you see on TV. If there isn't a blur effect, it'll feel fake and it won't feel as fast or whatever, visually speaking. But also, I talked about how the referee, where's the referee? Why is the referee in the corner? What's going on with the referee? That's me critiquing the game. I have critiqued the game. And guys, I don't have a horse in the race. I don't necessarily need the game to explode for me to be financially comfortable or financially good. I built my own business regardless of this game. So I don't need the game to succeed for me to succeed. I want the game to succeed for the community to have a boxing game. And I find it to be hilarious how people are like, "Oh man, you see, no, you should have just said it was all trash. How can you even like it?" It's like somebody bringing me a Ferrari or a McLaren and saying, "Hey, look, here's a McLaren." Then I look at the McLaren, I'm like, "Damn, wait a second. There's a dent in the side of the door and the spoiler on it is loose. Bro, this is garbage. I don't want, why would you bring this to me? Why would you show me this?" And the dude saying, "Yo, bro, but you haven't had a car in 10 years. I'm bringing you a McLaren. You haven't had a sports car in 10 years. I'm bringing you a new." Yeah, but I don't want it. I'll just deal with the old sports car. Because of the dent and the spoiler, that could be fixed. Yeah, but I don't want it. Like, I was excited. Yeah, it's a McLaren, but it's dented and the spoiler is loose. That's the what you guys want me to do is the equivalent of saying that. No, if you bring me a product that is a boxing video game, something that I've wanted for so long, and there's so much good in it, and because of a few things, I'm supposed to just destroy the game? Absolutely not. And it's not capping. It is the truth. And that's why I'm showing you the receipts on what you should expect when it comes to boxing, right? So now we're going to move on, right? We're going to go ahead and move on. The movements, I said, are a little wonky, but it's because, to me, he's stuck in that corner. We're going to have to see the gameplay trailer. Also, keep in mind, guys, that this all can be improved because it's not the final product, and this is not the actual gameplay trailer. So we are critiquing some clips that were shown in a trailer that was designed to showcase fighters. Just keep that in mind. Now we're going to go ahead and move on to Arturo Gatti's left hook. This was another thing that was critiqued by Martial Mind. And I'm sure a lot of people are like, yeah, you're right. Like, no power there. By the way, this left hook is absolutely beautiful. He keeps his right hand up in this position, which is great because during the Alpha Movement trailer, his hand was down here. His right hand was down here. But now it's up here in a very realistic, this is the important thing, guys, realistic position, right? And just to add a little bit of spice to it for you guys, let's compare we did the flicker jab already. Let's compare the left hook. By the way, here's a left hook. Here's a left hook by Canelo Alvarez, right? Hits the body, boom. Turns just the same way, and look where his hand is located. Exactly where Arturo Gatti's hand is located, right? Boom, hits the body, boom, comes up around, boom, and turns his body just the same amount, slightly, just to get enough on that punch. Let's look at Arturo Gatti real quick. Let's just look at Arturo Gatti real quick. Notice the turn is identical. It's identical. Okay, so now let's go back to the left hook, right? And also right here, boom, boom. Notice how much is he turning? Boom, boom. That's it. Look at where his hand is. Realistic. Look where his hand is. Realistic. All right. Boom, boom. Okay. Same thing here. Hook. Look, he just turns it a little bit, but where's his right hand? We can see it is in the same position. Boom. But just for fun, I wanted to show the left hook in Fight Night Champions because everybody's praising Fight Night Champions because they either have nostalgia bias or they just don't understand that Fight Night Champions took every single move and over-exaggerated it, giving you a sense of, oh my God, there's so much aggression, but it's not realistic. Now let's go ahead and look at it. This is a Fight Night Champions embarrassing left hook. Okay? This is embarrassing, guys. My mans said this. This is what my mans did. Rest in peace, Marvin Hagler. I love you. And I actually used one of the clips that from my gameplay. What are you doing? This is my position right now. This is the realistic thing that you guys are talking about. This is the left hook in Fight Night Champions. I look ridiculous right now. But this is the left hook in Fight Night Champions, guys. See, this is the thing. You're so used to this Fight Night Champion garbage. And don't get me wrong. I don't got nothing against it. It's the best thing that we have because it's the most recent thing, blah, blah, blah. But this is disgraceful. You shouldn't be throwing left hooks like this, right? And even if you're doing a lunging thing, it should still be over here somewhere. Don't give me that, oh, he's lunging in. But why are you over here? What are you doing with your hand up here? Not good, right? Not good. So we got the left hook out of the way, which I think this is a beautiful left hook. One of the critiques that you could give it is that most of the left hook that I've seen are all turned this way, but some people punch that way. Gennady Golovkin is one of the people that punch this way. Maybe if you can get it kind of rotated this way, it'll look a little bit more comparable to most punchers that you see when they're fighting. But let's go ahead and look at. To me, all of this look good. Uppercut. It's all about the stepping, really. He steps. You can see he shifted weight from his right to his left and comes in with an uppercut. Boom. This grazes David, and David reacts accordingly. He doesn't go, oh, he reacts accordingly. So the running. A lot of people were like, no one runs in boxing. That never happens. All right, cool. That never happens. Yeah, it's seldom, but there are moments where running is used, and we'll get there. Let's get there. Running and boxing, right? Here we have Oscar De La Hoya fighting Fernando Vargas, and Fernando Vargas is stumbling away, so Oscar runs up to him to cover that distance. And there's going to be another one here. And he wins. Amazing fight, by the way. You should watch it if you haven't seen it. We have Chop Chop Corley. Mayweather runs after him to cover that distance, right? So you might be thinking to yourself, well, no one was stumbling away. What does that matter? Should that change the fact that you can't do something? I don't want anybody. If somebody is dumb enough to run for no reason, I want them to be able to run for no reason. If you want to throw a punch, if you want to throw a punch and I'm like all the way over there, I want you to be able to throw that punch even though I'm all the way over there. It's your prerogative. You're the one with the controller in your hand. But having the ability to run, which makes sense if somebody's kind of moving too much or trying to create distance quickly because he's in a lot of trouble, I want to be able to just cover that distance real quick and finish him off. Now, the other critique. Nothing's happening to their faces. Nothing's happening to their faces when they get punched. It's like they don't move. They're not like, whoa, whoa. You know, like if you watch Rocky or Rocky Balboa movie or if you watch Hajime no Ippo. I love that anime, but obviously they do exaggerated stuff. Here's the thing, guys. Boxers' faces or heads don't fly all over the place as much as you think. And he talked about Joe Frazier was the one that hit him, right? He talked about Joe Frazier was the one that hit him. Hold on, let me just... Head not flying everywhere. He talked about Joe Frazier was the one that hit Rocky Marciano, so his head should be just like bam, bam, right? Okay. So just because of that, I picked hard punchers. This is Lucas Matisse, guys. Lucas Matisse. Let's look at Devin Alexander's face when he gets hit and dropped. Does it look like his head flew all over the place? Does it look like he was like that? No, that doesn't happen so much. Let's look at Lucas Matisse with Pavatnikov. His head didn't move that much. Let's look at Eric Morales with Maidana, power puncher. Look at Eric Morales' face. Is it going everywhere? And he can't, oh my God, oh my goodness. No, that's Rocky movies. That's fight night. That's not real life all the time. You're not always seeing that. All right, now let's talk about the lunging punch, right? This was also criticized. Oh, why is Joe Frazier doing such a weird lunging punch, right? This lunging punch right here. This is vintage Joe Frazier. And whoever they got to do the mocap for this, which by the way, yes, they did get fighters to do the mocap for this. So whoever did the mocap for this, it almost feels like they've resurrected Joe Frazier to do the mocap for this. Why? Look at, pay attention. Keep this image in your head. He jumps in the air, boom, right? Let's go to the lunging punch. Running and boxing, lunging punch. This is Joe Frazier. And some people say, oh, he's automatically always crossed before he throws it to rip it even more, using the arms to give him more momentum. That is absolutely not true. He does it a lot of times, yes, but not all the time. Right here, he just goes into the lunging punch. He's in the air in the exact same way. He's in midair in the exact same way. All right. And if we go back here, just so you guys see, I'm going to let you guys also take a look. I think that was pretty much all of the critiques that there were. Head flying everywhere. Yeah, that was all the critiques. Oh, by the way, look, this is Edwin Valero. If you don't know about him, go check him out. The man hits hard. Let's look at the face, the head of his opponent. Oh, that little thing, that's all he did? Just pop his head up slightly for a knock, or move his head to the right slightly for a knockdown. And just to finish it off, I left you with Fight Night Champions. Or Fight Night Champion, I always say that wrong. Skating around, throwing punches, they're tired. This is me showing them tired. This is tired, so you see tired. Throwing punches. Just not even close to what we were seeing. Now, what are my critiques? Because there are some, but they're not what you think they are. The punches to me, the flicker jab, because not every jab is a jab. Some jabs are just flick, just flick. It don't have to be, and it also depends on your distance too. You can't throw one of these if the person is right there. You're only going to throw one of these. Even when you punch, you're only going to do one of these if the person's right there next to you. So hopefully you guys understand where I'm coming from in terms of the gameplay itself. For anyone who's saying that the gameplay looks bad, they simply are romanticizing the Rocky movies or their nostalgia with Fight Night Champions, or they only really know Fight Night Champions and they think that that aggression and that over-exaggerate uppercuts like this, right hooks like this, everything is like this. They think that that's boxing, simulation. But unfortunately, guys, it's not. So, we're going to see actual gameplay trailer. This wasn't the gameplay trailer, but when we do, we're going to go ahead and critique or analyze that. But ain't nobody capping. And I need you guys who don't know about boxing, who think you know about boxing, to please sit down. And Martial Mind, I say that with all the respect in the world. I love you, brother. That's all I got. Peace out.